Good evening, I'm Aviday Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. 18 people killed in Saudi Airlines plane crash at the Tribhuvan International Airport. Injured Captain Manish Shakya out of danger. Huge loss due to ineffective rescue mechanism. The government forms a 5-member committee led by Ratish Chandra Lal Suman to investigate today's Saudi Airlines plane crash. Flags at half-mast tomorrow to mourn the deaths. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee inconclusive on recommendation of the Election Commissioner. Members of the State Affairs Committee demand investigation on Deputy Speaker Indira Ranamagar. And ANFA delays appointment of the coach for the national football team. ANFA yet to decide on whether to renew Vincenzo Alberto Aniz's contract or appoint a new coach. 18 people have died after an aircraft of Saudi Airlines crashed at the Tribhuvan International Airport this morning. According to the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, the aircraft with the call sign 9N AME CRJ 200 had taken off for Pokhara at 11:11 this morning and crashed immediately. The aircraft was flying to Pokhara, where it was scheduled for repair and maintenance works. Captain of the aircraft, Manish Shakya, was rescued and is undergoing treatment at the Kathmandu Medical College. 19 people were on board the ill-fated aircraft, and all of them were the technical staff members of Saudi Airlines and their family members. 18 people, along with co-pilot Sushant Kotwal, died in the crash. Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli, Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak, and other high-ranking officials reached the Tribhuvan International Airport and took stock of the unfortunate crash of Saudi Airlines. Family members of the deceased reached TU Teaching Hospital at Maharajganj to identify the bodies. The bodies will be handed over to the families within 3 days after post-mortem. Captain Manish Shakya is the only survivor among the 19 people on board the aircraft of Saudi Airlines, which crashed immediately after takeoff at the Tribhuvan International Airport this morning. Captain Shakya was found with injuries to his eyes and head. According to hospital sources, Shakya has suffered some injuries in his body but is now out of danger. He was the operations director at Saudi Airlines. After completing his preliminary training from the Philippines, Shakya had received his license from the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal in 2009. Having begun his career as the co-pilot of the then Guna Airlines, Shakya had joined Saudi Airlines in 2014. He had received his pilot license from the United States of America in 2016. Shakya had been flying the jet engine aircrafts of Saudi Airlines since 2017 in the capacity of the captain. After being appointed the training manager of the entity in 2018, he had assumed the responsibilities of operators director. The government has formed a 5-member committee led by former Director General of the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal, Ratish Chandra Lal Suman, to investigate today's crash of the aircraft of Saudi Airlines. Today's meeting of the Council of Ministers, held at the office of the Prime Minister, and the Council of Ministers formed the committee led by Suman to probe the matter. The 5-member investigation committee has been directed to furnish its report within 45 days after conducting required investigation. The committee has been directed to present its report with recommendations on preventive measures to avoid air crashes in days ahead. The 5-member investigation committee formed by the government includes Captain Deepu Jwarchan from Nepal Airlines, Engineer Sanjay Adhikari from Sri Airlines, Assistant Professor Sudeep Bhattrai from Pulchok Engineering Campus, and Technical Officer Mukesh Dangol from the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Civil Aviation. The ill-fated aircraft of Saudi Airlines was heading to Pokhara for a C-check. C-checks refer to comprehensive inspections and are more extensive maintenance checks that occur every 18 to 24 months. An aircraft C-check is a thorough inspection of an aircraft's systems, components, and structures to ensure they are serviceable and functioning properly. The C-check requires the aircraft to be taken out of service for a period of time, typically lasting 1 to 4 weeks. During a C-check, technicians perform detailed examinations of the aircraft's exterior, fluid levels, tires, brakes, avionics systems, flight controls, engines, landing gear, structural components, and electrical systems. They also conduct in-depth lubrication of fittings and cables. The goal of a C-check is to ensure that all critical components are in good condition and that any necessary repairs or replacements are carried out. According to aviation experts, aircraft maintenance checks are categorized into different levels, each with its own purpose and scope. These checks are referred to as A, B, C, and D checks, representing a progression from basic inspections to comprehensive overhauls. Hangars, large buildings with an extensive floor area are required for such checks. Buddha Air conducts such regular checks at its hangar in Kathmandu, while Saurya Airlines was flying the ill-fated aircraft to Pokhara for the maintenance works, as the entity has its hangar there. According to CAN, an aircraft being taken for a C-check did not mean that it was in a poor condition, but that it was being taken for a regular test. It's now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday we had asked you, what's your take on Communication Minister Prithvi Subba Gurung's statement that limitation should be determined for the media and judiciary? 35% voted for A, intention to control, 36% for B, statement against the Constitution, 29% for C, preparation to regulate. And here's today's question. What should be done to ensure the safety of Nepal's aviation sector? Your options are A, efficient monitoring, B, regular check of aircrafts, and C, improvement in technology and infrastructure. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. We'll take a short break here. We have more news coming up. Bagmati Province Chief Minister Bahadur Singh Lama was administered his oath of office and secrecy by Province Governor Yadav Chandra Sharma today. Chief Minister Lama has formed a 10-member Province Council of Ministers, including 6 ministers from CPN-UML and 3 from Nepali Congress. CPN-UML's Prakash Shrestha has been appointed the Province Minister for Agriculture and Livestock. Kiran Silwal is the Minister for Forest and Environment. Suk Maya Tamang is the Minister for Industries, Commerce, Land and Administration. Aman Maske is the Minister for Fiscal Infrastructure Development. And Prem Bhakta Marjan is the Minister for Labor, Employment and Transport. From Nepali Congress, Kundan Raj Kafle, Madhukumar Shrestha and Shyam Khadka have been appointed the province ministers, but they have yet to be assigned their portfolios. Chief Minister Lama has said that 3 more ministers are to be appointed from Nepali Congress and their portfolios would be assigned together. Meanwhile, newly appointed Lumbini Province Chief Minister Chetnaran Acharya was administered his oath of office and secrecy by Province Governor Amik Sherchan today. Chief Minister Acharya has formed a 9-member Province Council of Ministers with 4 ministers each from CPN-UML and Nepali Congress. The newly appointed ministers were administered their oath of office and secrecy today itself. However, their portfolios have yet to be assigned. Province Governor Sherchan administered the oath of office and secrecy of UML's Bhumishwar Dhakal from Rupandehi, Khembahadur Saru from Palpa, Dinesh Panthi of Gulmi and Sita Chaudhary Sharma of Dang, alongside Nepali Congress's Prachanda Bikram Neopane of Dang, Saroj Thapa of Puthan, Badshah Kurmi of Banke and Dhanendra Karki of Gulmi. Despite Nepali Congress whip Janmajay Timilsina was also touted to be a minister, his name was later removed. After the oath, Chief Minister Acharya said that he would proceed by prioritizing political stability, development, and prosperity. Former Chief Minister and Nepali Congress Province Assembly Party leader Dilli Bahadur Chaudhary said that the 2 parties would move forward by developing programs on mutual agreement. Meanwhile, newly appointed Chief Minister Acharya assumed his office today and signed the decision of implementing the 5-year strategic work plan to promote good governance and curb corruption. In our Public Voice segment today, we have asked people in several provinces what should the priority of the new province governments be? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
कानुन निर्माण गर्नु पर्यो, नीति बनाउनु पर्यो,
खानेपानी स्वास्थ्य शिक्षामा चाहिँ ध्यान दिनुपर्छ,
विकास निर्माणका कामलाई अगाडि बढाउन सकोस्,
सरकारलाई मेडिकल इश्यूजलाई पनि ध्यान राख्नुपर्छ अनि त्यसलाई पनि ठीक गर्नुपर्छ।
प्रदेश सरकारले किसानहरूलाई मलको सुविधा बेलामा उपलब्ध गराइदिनुपर्छ।
डुप्लिकेसनको चाहिँ कामहरू अगाडि त्यस्तो साथ चाहिँ हुँदैन भन्ने चाहिँ पहिलो प्राथमिकता राख्नुपर्छ।
शिक्षा त्यसपछि रोजगारहरू बेरोजगार हुनुहुन्छ उहाँलाई हेर्नु पर्यो।
शिक्षा स्वास्थ्यतिर चाहिँ राम्रो ध्यान दियो भने राम्रो हुन्थ्यो।
पर्यटनलाई पहिलो प्राथमिकता,
गरिब जनताको जीवन स्तर उठाउने खालको योजनाहरू चाहिँ प्रदेश सरकारले अथवा सरकारले ल्याउनु पर्छ।
शिक्षा र टुरिज्म मलाई जहाँसम्म लाग्छ दुईटालाई फोकस गर्यो भने नेपालको प्रगति हुनेछ।
प्रत्यक्ष रूपमा जनताका सरकारहरूलाई समाधान गर्ने हिसाबले प्रदेश सरकारले काम गर्नुपर्छ।
प्रदेश सरकारले चाहिँ अब यहाँ के समस्याहरू छन् त्यो पहिला पहिचान गरेर अनि त्यसको आधारमा चाहिँ नीति निर्माणहरू गर्नु पर्यो।
The Parliamentary Hearing Committee was inconclusive about Krishnaman Pradhan recommended for election commissioner who is alleged of sexual abuse. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee was held after Pradhan was recommended for election commissioner by the Constitutional Council. Although the Parliamentary Hearing Committee called proposed election commissioner Pradhan for questioning, it could not decide on whether or not to endorse him. The committee will schedule another meeting to take a decision on Pradhan. He has faced allegations of sexual harassment from colleagues. At the meeting, Pradhan did not provide answers to many questions raised by lawmakers. Lawmakers even raised question on which moral grounds Pradhan would be appointed the election commissioner. The committee also held closed-door discussions today regarding allegations of sexual harassment against Pradhan. Media persons were asked to leave the meeting room after Pradhan presented his action plan. Meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission has directed authorities not to appoint officials with controversial characters. Members of the State Affairs Committee of the Parliament have demanded investigation into Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Indira Rana Magar. At today's meeting of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, parliamentarians of Nepali Congress and CPN-UML demanded for investigation on Deputy Speaker Rana for recommending non-parliamentarians for their visa procedure to the Embassy of the United States of America, which they said was unethical and beyond her jurisdiction. Saying it was related to the prestige of the Parliament and a serious issue, the parliamentarians have called for an investigation. A complaint was also filed against the Deputy Speaker at the State Affairs Committee. A correspondence from Deputy Speaker Rana to the Embassy of the United States of America, where she had requested the embassy to arrange visa interview schedule for 6 individuals, including herself, was recently made public. It's time now for the international update. Britain's Foreign Secretary David Lammy reached New Delhi today, marking his first official visit to India since taking office early this month. During the 2-day visit, Lammy is expected to meet his Indian counterpart Subramaniam Jaishankar to discuss key issues including free trade agreement. The visit is being billed as an attempt to reset Britain's relationship with the country and the global south. Lammy has called India an indispensable partner in the government's efforts to grow the economy and tackle climate change. With the country's economy soon to be the 3rd largest in the world, the new Labour government is eager to secure a free trade agreement. Just 3 weeks old, Keir Starmer's administration has set its sight on India early. If Labour wants growth, British firms will need to do more business in the country. Talks about a free trade agreement with India have been stalled for months following negotiations over the last 2 years. In March, India signed a free trade agreement with Norway, Switzerland, Iceland, and Liechtenstein, which are all non-European Union states. Lammy's visit to India marks the first high-profile visit from the newly elected Keir Starmer's Labour Party to India. A statement from British High Commission said Lamy is also scheduled to meet India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal and other business leaders to bolster the India-UK partnership. It's time now for another short break. We'll be right back.
Sports news.
Players of the men's national football team are currently free because the All Nepal Football Association ANFA does not have any programs to keep them occupied. The national football governing body has also delayed the appointment process of the head coach as agreement with Vincenzo Alberto Aniz has ended in the last week of Nepali month of Jeshta. The ANFA is yet to decide on whether to renew Vincenzo's contract or to appoint a new coach. Vincenzo was appointed the head coach of Nepal men's national football team for a period of 1 year on 1st of March 2023. His contract was extended for the period of 3 months and 15 days, which ended in the last week of the Nepali month of Jeshta. However, the national football governing body ANFA is yet to decide on whether to appoint a new coach or to renew Vincenzo's contract. The executive committee of ANFA is to decide on the matter. However, its meeting has remained uncertain. Despite acknowledging the term of Vincenzo satisfactory, ANFA has hinted towards not extending his contract. Despite rumors about efforts to appoint a German coach, ANFA did not share any information in this regard. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Good night.